In the name of God, the gracious, the merciful. Those who believed, and those who migrated and fought for the sake of God, those look forward to God's mercy. God is forgiving and merciful. They ask you about intoxicants and gambling. Say, there is gross sin in them, and some benefits for people, but their sinfulness outweighs their benefit. And they ask you about what they should give. Say, the surplus. Thus God explains the revelations to you, so that you may think about this world and the next. And they ask you about orphans. Say, improvement for them is best. And if you intermix with them, then they are your brethren. God knows the dishonest from the honest. Had God willed, he could have overburdened you. God is mighty and wise. Do not marry idolatresses, unless they have believed. A believing maid is better than an idolatress, even if you like her. And do not marry idolaters, unless they have believed. A believing servant is better than an idolater, even if you like him. These call to the fire, but God calls to the garden and to forgiveness, by his leave. He makes clear his communications to the people, that they may be mindful. And they ask you about menstruation. Say, it is harmful, so keep away from women during menstruation. And do not approach them until they have become pure. Once they have become pure, approach them in the way God has directed you. God loves the repentant, and he loves those who keep clean. Your women are cultivation for you. So approach your cultivation whenever you like, and send ahead for yourselves. And fear God, and know that you will meet him. And give good news to the believers. And do not allow your oaths in God's name to hinder you from virtue, and righteousness, and making peace between people. God is listener and knower. God does not hold you responsible for your unintentional oaths, but he holds you responsible for your intentions. God is forgiving and forbearing. Those who vow abstinence from their wives must wait for 4 months. But if they reconcile, God is forgiving and merciful. And if they resolve to divorce, God is hearing and knowing. Divorced women shall wait by themselves for 3 periods. And it is not lawful for them to conceal what God has created in their wombs, if they believe in God and the last day. Meanwhile, their husbands have the better right to take them back, if they desire reconciliation. And women have rights similar to their obligations, according to what is fair. But men have a degree over them. God is mighty and wise. Divorce is allowed twice. Then, either honorable retention, or setting free kindly. It is not lawful for you to take back anything you have given them, unless they fear that they cannot maintain God's limits. If you fear that they cannot maintain God's limits, then there is no blame on them if she sacrifices something for her release. These are God's limits, so do not transgress them. Those who transgress God's limits are the unjust. If he divorces her, she shall not be lawful for him again until she has married another husband. If the latter divorces her, then there is no blame on them for reuniting, provided they think they can maintain God's limits. These are God's limits. He makes them clear to people who know.